Hey, what's up, you guys? WyattXM here, and today I'm going to do a top 10 list that's a little different from the regular top 10 list that I do, which is going to be the top 10 subgenres of black metal. Now, we all know black metal, and we all fucking love it too, pretty much a majority of us. And black metal comes in many shapes and forms. These 10 are pretty much the most well known, and I'm just going to put in my personal favorite uh, subgenres of black metal from 10 to 1, obviously. And yeah, I'm just, this is all for just my opinion, remember. And I love starting conversations with people and getting comments, and hopefully you'll discover some new subgenre or a new band out of this. So yeah, let's get this underway. Number 10 is symphonic black metal, easily my least favorite. And the problem I get a lot with symphonic black metal, and it's happening this year too, and pretty much all the other stuff I've heard before, is that it is extremely polished to the point that I really can't get into it that much. Take, for instance, of Cradle of Filth. I know really for people who enjoy them, they take a more of an approach on a more just regular symphonic metal just in general, but overall they are pretty much a blackened symphonic band that just comes off a little too clean, a little too repetitive, and it just doesn't have that black metal feel. Same with Dimmu Borgir, just way too polished, and it's pretty much the same problem I'm having with the new Karl Hungren album that I cannot stand and I really dislike a lot. Though Karl Hungren's previous album, Where the Corpses Sing Forever, is awesome for and a great balance for symphonic black metal, it's really hard for me to find that many good symphonic black metal bands out there because really it relies on a really clean and polished sound that doesn't give that whole black metal feel to it, and that's really why it's my least favorite out of the overall 10. So symphonic black metal ends up at number 10. Number 9 is blackened thrash metal. Now, I'm not a big thrash metal fan, but that's not the real reason why it's this low. Um, Overall, with blackened thrash, I really can't, I have a hard time just finding a lot of blackened thrash. I know there's a lot out there, but I just have a hard time finding ones that I enjoy. I know when I bring up this subgenre, immediately two bands always pop into people's minds, which is Skeleton Witch and Goat Whore. I'm not a fan of either. I'm not saying, don't listen to them, they suck. I'm just saying I really can't get into them. Goat Whore just, live they kind of bring that whole velocity pretty well. Studio, it's completely gone. It's just not there. Skeleton Witch, it's a little too polished and a little too clean for my personal taste, where it just relies more on melodic riffs than just overall black metal aggression. But the reason why it's not 10th is because back in the day, like back in the late 80s, early 90s, black and thrash was really in its prime. I mean, right here, Sarcophago, I believe that's how you pronounce, easily the uncrowned kings of black and thrash. You also had Angel Corpse, which was fucking intense, and really the only blackened thrash metal band I can think of right now that's really kicking ass is Destroyer 666. That's easily, in my personal taste, the best active black and thrash metal band out there right now. So check them out if you haven't. So yeah, that's number 9. Number 8 is melodic black metal. Reason being, I don't know that many melodic black metal bands. Really, the real two that come to mind are Dissection, amazing band that sadly is not around, and Dark Fortress is another good one. That their earlier work is so much better than their newer work. And even though they're not considered it, I consider them it because of their two newest albums. Rotting Christ is starting to become a little bit melodic black metal. And the problem I have though with melodic black metal, it's not a huge problem, but it's kind of the reason why they're not that high up, is that the thing is with melodic riffs, it needs a clean production to give it that melodic feel. And again, when you polish black metal too much, it doesn't sound that black metal, even though that's a stupid way to word it. It just doesn't sound that much like that traditional black metal. Not that I have a problem with change. It's just a lot of it's just too clean for my personal taste. But I mean, overall, there's this section in there. There's Rotting Christ, which is a personal favorite of mine, and that's why it ranks up at number 8 at least. Number 7 is depressing suicidal black metal. Uh, Really, this is kind of I think out of all 10 the hardest to get into because this really has a lot of emotion to it, and it's not something that a metalhead would easily get into, considering the fact that they're really an adrenaline junkie when it comes to music. But I like depressing suicidal black metal. It's just a different take on metal. It's really emotional, it's depressing, it's dark, it's haunting, and that's what I like about it. It's just really different. Take into account Shining is pretty decent for the most part. Ghostbath, a new favorite of mine, I fucking love. You got Forgotten Tombs earlier work, which is fantastic. Zaster, another great depressing suicidal black metal band. And I mean, there's dozens that I can say that just really are tremendous suicidal black metal bands, depressing suicidal black metal bands that just have a shit ton of emotion to it, and it just really it's depressing yet beautiful in the same way. It's really weird that those two emotions and that one adjective and emotion could mix well together, but depressing suicidal black metal really has a good balance of both. Another one is thanks to my buddy Chris, all the way from Australia, for giving me a copy of his newest album, his project called Dead Space. Another great depressing suicidal black metal band that you should check out. And yeah, from there on, you'll just continuously discover more and more because there's a big roster out there that I still need to explore as well. So yes, that is number 7. Number 6 is industrial black metal. Easily the first one that's going to come to mind is Thorns. That's easily the first one. Another one is Zyklon. My girlfriend loves that band. Sadly, they're not around anymore, but the mark they made in the metal blackened industrial world will always be there. And yeah, just really, if industrial black metal has a more futuristic sound to it, including those industrial sounds of like fucking machinery being thrown around everywhere, along with the chaos of black metal mixed in with it. That I really enjoy a lot, and I've been discovering new industrial bands day in and day out, and I'm having a blast doing it. And industrial black metal, I feel like, is kind of like the subgenre of black metal that gives the least amount of credit. Like, we really don't talk that much about industrial black metal, but yeah, definitely get into it because it's very destructive. That I can't get enough of. I could say Melmoth Rock, but I don't know. It's not. They got bits and pieces of industrial in there, but yeah, those three are easily some tremendous black metal bands, industrial black metal bands that you should check out immediately. So next, number 5, probably the most ferocious out of the whole list, is blackened death metal. First one that comes to mind is Revenge. You also got Titan Blood, my personal favorite. You got Proclamation, which is fucking intense. Sadly, they're not around anymore. Pseudo God, another intense band. Belphegor, Behemoth, Hate, Portal, my real favorite, I should say. I forgot about them for a second. The list just goes on and on. Mitochondrion, Impetuous Ritual is another great one too. I could just be forever to naming them. And what I like about black and death metal is that you get the two most ferocious, genres of metal, put them together, and you get this evil, brutal, and chaotic sound that none of the others that I'm going to say or have said can match up to it. Its intensity. And if you're just in the mood for just something intense, just search up any black and death metal band and you'll be satisfied. So yes, that's number 5. Number 4 is noise black metal. This is easily the eeriest out of all of them. This one definitely gives me goosebumps because noise black metal has like this haunting sound to it that's also intense as well. That just doesn't let up with its tension that it builds up. KFR is one, easily the scariest out of every band I know. That is so fucking haunting and dark that I need a night like, or I need it to be daytime to listen to because it's just so goddamn haunting. You also got Gnaw Their Tongues, another great solo project that's noise black metal that I can't get enough of. that, again, it's kind of like one of those bands I need, like, I need it to be light out to listen to. But noise black metal is definitely, like I said, the eeriest. That if you're just in the mood for something haunting, noise black metal immediately. So that's number 4. Number 3 is ambient black metal. Easiest and first one I'm going to say is Burzum with his 4th album. That is a fucking masterpiece in that subgenre. You got Dark Space, another well-respected ambient black metal band that I don't think they've got one negative comment on them. And ambient black metal, it's breathtaking. The overall keyboards that are mixed in there just right gives it this really tender and elegant sound to it that it's just something really to get laid back to, really, and it's beautiful, and I love it. That's why it's number 3. So moving on, number 2, I call it just regular black metal. I know you can call it raw black metal or just regular black metal. Like, for instance, raw black metal, you got Dark Throne and shit like that. Regular black metal, I'm thinking like Mayhem, Dark Funeral, Marduk, Watain, stuff like that. I'm just going to put them together because I kind of find it weird that we're calling it 2 different styles like that. You can, compare and contrast if you think I'm right or wrong. It's just how I look at it. But just simple black metal is pretty much almost good enough for me, almost perfect enough for me, because it's just fucking evil. It's as evil as you can get in music, how I look at just simple, straightforward black metal. Because, it might be, blast fest, here and there, but it's just so fucking chaotic and evil and sinister that, we all love just straightforward black metal because it gets the job done and you get satisfied no matter what, practically. If you're, a big black metal fan, you all can't deny, you all love just straightforward black metal. And number 1, it's obvious because if you know me, it's fucking obvious. Atmospheric black metal. Intensity and beauty perfectly blended together. That's what I can say pretty much with every single atmospheric black metal band I can think of. I've yet to find one atmospheric black metal album or band that I dislike. Everything I've heard from atmospheric black metal just is so breathtaking that I'm lost for words with 90% of the albums I hear. Just a spoiler alert, this year I've been obsessed with this subgenre that pretty much when it comes to the end of the year and I do my top 40, top 30, whatever albums of the year, expect at least half of the list to have atmospheric black metal bands because I just can't get enough of it. You got Ghostbath to some extent, their newest album has a little bit of it. You got Leviathan puts in it some here and there sometimes, Panopticon, Obsidian Tongue, Summoning, and just tons more. I could go on and on. This other one that I just discovered like last week, called ORD, O-R-D. Awesome. I was lucky enough to buy one of the 100 CDs that came out, and that's another tremendous atmospheric black metal album that I just can't get enough of. So yeah, that's pretty much my list. If you notice, I kind of didn't put in folk and progressive black metal just because I don't know, I just didn't feel like that's a real subgenre of black metal, how I look at it. But this is just my opinion. What's your opinion? I'm really interested to know. So comment below, let me know. Comment back to yours as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, liking, supporting, and subscribing. You guys are the fucking best. Hopefully you discovered something new in this list. And keep it metal.